This is the Mealtime Magic and Mayhem podcast. I'm Tricia Clark, your host, cooking coach, and kitchen mentor. We're here to talk about all things food, wine, travel, cocktails, and mealtime memories. So many memories are made around the table. We all know mealtime can be stressful, full of chaos and mayhem, but it's also the universal connector, a catalyst for communication and connection, and a time to create magic and memories. So many of our memories are tied to food, and I can't wait to share some of those stories with you here. I'm here to share ideas, inspiration, and stories to help you experience mealtime with a dash of magic and just a sprinkle of mayhem. You can expect new episodes weekly, including a mixture of interviews, personal stories, and some fun conversations about our adventures and misadventures in the kitchen and around the table. I hope you walk away feeling inspired to try something new in your kitchen or around your table to create more connection with your friends, family, and beyond. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to another enchanting episode of Mealtime Magic and Mayhem. I'm your host, Tricia Clark, and today we're going to dive into the wonderful world of summer produce. I want you to get ready to shake things up as we explore all the fun and delicious things you can do with bountiful fruits and vegetables of the summer season. I want you to take yourself back to the farmer's market episode or the eating in season episode where we talked about the farmer's market. And I asked you to envision being at the farmer's market where the people are bustling about, the air is filled with the sweet scent of ripe peaches, the vibrant colors of berries, right? Remember? So today, we're not just going to enjoy these fruits in their natural form. We're going to take them and we're going to add some magic and a little bit of mayhem with some cocktails and surprising dishes that I hope will really ignite your sense of creativity and maybe inspire a little bit of that inner mad scientist. Do you remember that feeling of wonder as a kid when you wanted to mix things together and really experiment? I want you to think about that as we talk about these different ingredients today and the ways that we can combine them together. So let's start with the star ingredients of the summer, the glorious fruits. They're bursting with flavor and juiciness, like juicy watermelons, the succulent peaches. You've got tangy berries that are not only perfect for snacking, but they're also great for creating refreshing summer cocktails that will really take your next summer backyard party to the next level. I promise you, if you break these out, you will be the host or the hostess with the mostest. So let's start with a watermelon mojito. I love mojitos because they're light and refreshing, and there are so many options beyond the traditional lime. When we go to Mexico on vacation, we love mango mojitos. But today we're going to talk about watermelon mojitos. They're really simple, light, refreshing, and hydrating, quite honestly, between all the water in the watermelon and some of the sparkling water you're going to add at the end. But they're very simple. You're going to muddle some fresh watermelon chunks with mint leaves, lime juice, and add a splash of rum. Maybe a little simple syrup if you like your drinks a little bit sweeter. But if not, you can skip it because watermelon's pretty sweet on its own. But you're going to shake all that up in a cocktail shaker with ice and strain it into a glass over ice for a vibrant and cooling cocktail that really captures the essence of summer in every sip. Or you could go for a BlackBerry Bourbon Smash, which, much like your watermelon mojito, you're going to muddle blackberries with mint and lime juice and a splash of simple syrup. Then you're going to add your bourbon, shake it up, and again, strain it into a glass over ice and top it with sparkling water. Sparkling water really adds that nice fizz and that refreshing component, especially to a heavier liquor like bourbon in the summertime. You really want to add that sparkling water to lighten that up. But did you notice that the two recipes I just found out are incredibly similar? And that's because it's really a simple formula, a guideline to be played with. So get crazy, bring out your inner mad scientist, create your own version by swapping out different fruits and different spirits. Maybe you don't want blackberries with your bourbon. Maybe you want peaches, which would be fabulous. And you could do a splash of sweet tea instead of simple syrup and sparkling water. See how you can just get the juices going, start thinking about it in different ways. When it comes to the mojito, you could swap it out for mangoes like I talked about, or a mango nectar. So many different ways you can play with fresh fruits. And it's also one way to use up the leftovers if you're not getting through them all. All right, so let's move on to some dinner and lunch recipes that kind of incorporate some fun combination of ingredients, maybe surprising to some, and will add a little touch of fun to your mealtime adventures. We've covered cocktails. We're going to move on to more of some savory dishes using those same fruits. So I wonder if you've ever had grilled peaches. They're great. They're great for a snack. They're great over ice cream. They're great over salad. There's so many ways to serve grilled peaches, and they're just perfection. There's so many ways I enjoy them. But let's start with a savory dish. Let's start with a grilled peach and prosciutto salad. You can simply grill halved peaches until they're caramelized and slightly softened. If you want to add a little bit of sweetness, you could dust them with some brown sugar first. Then arrange them on a bed of fresh arugula or baby greens, maybe baby spinach, really the green of your choice. And you're going to add slices of prosciutto, some crumbled goat cheese, and just a drizzle of balsamic glaze. Very simple, few ingredients, but delicious, and definitely have that wow factor. It's a delicious combination of sweet and savory flavors that are going to leave your taste buds craving for more. Or another idea is I love to do these savory fried rounds of goat cheese on a bed of mixed greens, and then top it with a grapefruit and a really light vinaigrette. One of my favorite combinations is to use cherries. They're a great addition. Those sweet summer cherries are a great addition to this salad. So what you'll do is you'll take a log of goat cheese, slice it in probably 1/2 inch thick slices, and you're going to dip those rounds in a little bit of flour and then in an egg wash and then into some crushed almonds or pecans. You could even combine those almonds or pecans with some breadcrumbs if you wanted a little bit heavier breading or coating on it. But after that, you're going to put them in the refrigerator for a few minutes to set up because that goat cheese gets really warm and soft, right, while you're working with it. Put it in the fridge or the freezer for 5 or 10 minutes just to let them solidify a little bit. And you're going to preheat a skillet with some oil. And we're not talking deep fry. We're just talking a small pan fry. So you want to add a couple tablespoons, maybe 1/4 inch of oil into your skillet and heat that to medium high heat. And you're going to pan fry those goat cheese rounds for just a couple minutes per side to get them nice and brown. And then you're going to top that on that bed of greens and then add your fruits. I prefer cherries. Strawberries would be delicious. Really, again, get creative, play with your food and try different combinations to find out what you like and don't like. And then you can either just drizzle with a light balsamic or you can make a light vinaigrette. So again, if cherries aren't your thing, swap out the fruit. I love to play with infused olive oils and balsamic vinegars. It's a really fun way to try different flavors, but really amp up a salad dressing with very few ingredients. And then if you do equal parts of the olive oil and balsamic, you just add salt and pepper to taste. One of my favorite combinations right now that I've discovered is a Cara orange infused balsamic vinegar that is delicious with, what's the oil? It was a Milanese or a Gremolata infused oil. Like there's so many different ways. You could do a harissa infused olive oil with a mango infused balsamic. You see where I'm going here? There's these little olive oil shops. You can find them on Amazon. Pick a couple of flavors that you feel like you would use repeatedly and then just play with it. Use that sense of adventure. And again, you don't have to make a huge batch of this dressing. Try a couple of splashes of each and mix them together and taste it and decide if you like it. And if it's not good, move on to the next one. Okay. So let's venture into the world of some unexpected or cocktails maybe you wouldn't expect to combine these ingredients of. Try a cucumber basil gin smash where you muddle fresh cucumber slices with some basil leaves and a squeeze of lime. Then you're going to add your gin and ice and a touch of simple syrup. Shake it all up, strain it into a glass filled with ice, and then garnish it with a sprig of fresh basil for a really nice, refreshing, and herbaceous cocktail that's sure to impress your guests. Again, I hope you'll notice that the formula is very much the same. It's really about playing with the ingredients. Gin is also really good with grapefruit and rosemary. All kinds of different ways you can play with this. Now, I've been obsessed with watermelon this week. And in the last Eat in Season episode, I shared a watermelon salad. But I've been obsessed with grilling watermelon and then using the watermelon in cocktails as well. much like the mojito that I talked about before. This week, I'm playing with vodka, limoncello, freshly squeezed lemon juice, muddled watermelon, and simple syrup. Again, very refreshing. I really enjoy a spirit-forward cocktail. So when it comes to combining things with like vodka and limoncello, that's kind of where I lean, or really infusing liquors with liquor spirit choices. So I'm excited to lean into this one this week and perfect it and get it just right. And I'll be sure to share the recipe for all of this in the show notes. Now, lastly, you cannot forget dessert. Luscious summer strawberries, whole and halved and roasted with vanilla bean and dusted with brown sugar, are amazing on top of ice cream. And if you want to get a little bit of extra mayhem and get a little bit even crazier, a dash of red wine or a splash of red wine adds a ton of flavor to a great ice cream sauce that you could put on top of pound cake, ice cream. Maybe you make a sundae out of pound cake and ice cream and the roasted strawberries. With these surprising recipes, I think you'll really find you can elevate your summer meals and gatherings to a whole new level of fun and food and cocktails that your guests will be talking about for weeks to come. So why not embrace the mayhem and let your creativity shine? Explore the magical flavors of summer produce, experiment with all the combinations you can come up with, and enjoy the delightful surprises that await you in every bite and sip. That wraps up today's episode of Mealtime Magic and Mayhem. I hope you feel inspired to infuse your mealtime with the splendor of summer produce and surprising ingredients. You can find all the recipes we just talked about in the show notes. I would love to hear from you and what summer produce you're enjoying and any ideas you have for things you want to see on future episodes. Join us again next time for more adventures, captivating conversations, and the power of shared meals. Remember, when we embrace a little mayhem with the magic, life and food are just more fun.
Thanks so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, please go hit that follow button, subscribe, leave us a review. And if you're ready to change what mealtime looks like for you, breaking that cycle of chaos and having more fun in the kitchen, build some confidence and discover your love of cooking, schedule your free Dish with Trish call at the link in the show notes. We'll chat a few minutes and you'll walk away with personalized strategies to take your mealtime routine from tired to inspired. See you next time.